Most people have heard of the word gerrymander. It's all over the news these days. It's a centuries-old political trick of redrawing the voting map to give one party an advantage over the others in order to retain safe congressional seats. But here's something most people don't know. Everyone has been saying this word wrong all this time. Hello, new word. Hello, gerrymander. This is the story behind the word and that mistake. And it begins with a man who never wanted to be remembered for this at all. If you're into strange words, forgotten phrases, and love uncovering the hidden origins and histories of the English words we use every day, then you're in the right place. That's what we do here at Wize to the Words. So if that's your thing, please hit subscribe so we can get wise to the words together. In the early 1800s, Massachusetts was a battlefield of politics. On the one side were the Federalists, older, more conservative, more pro-business. On the other side were the Democratic Republicans, led nationally by Thomas Jefferson and James Madison. And in the middle of the storm was a politician named Elbridge Gerry. This guy. Now, Gerry wasn't just another politician. He wasn't a nobody. He had actually signed the Declaration of Independence. However, he refused to sign the Constitution. The reason is that he grew deeply suspicious of how much power it gave the federal government. He worried that the federal government would become corrupt and trample on the rights of the people. Because of this, he flat out refused to sign the final document. However, he did help draft the Bill of Rights and help push it through Congress. By 1810, he had become the governor of Massachusetts, but he wasn't beloved by the people. He wasn't really liked. He was seen as a partisan operator, and in 1812, that reputation was cemented forever. That year, Gerry's party was desperate to retain power in Massachusetts, so they passed a redistricting plan. On paper, it looked like a normal law, but when the new voting maps were revealed, people stared in disbelief. The districts weren't neat rectangles or clean shapes. They weren't even close. They were jagged, twisted, curling across the map in unnatural shapes that just happened, conveniently, to pack Federalist voters into as few districts as possible, while giving Gerry's party an advantage everywhere else. One district in particular in Essex County was shocking. It wasn't shaped like any town or county people recognized. It twisted and coiled like some kind of beast. It was a monster. A political monster. A local newspaper, the Boston Gazette, decided to mock it. They hired a political cartoonist named Elkanah Tisdale to sketch a picture of this new district, but instead of drawing it as a map, he drew it as a monster. He gave it wings, claws, a serpent's tail, and a menacing gaze. When it was published, someone in the newsroom looked at the drawing and joked, "That isn't a district, that's a salamander." And then another voice chimed in, "No, it's a gerrymander." And just like that, a word was born. Within weeks, newspapers across Massachusetts, and eventually the country, were using that word. The word was perfect, short, catchy, and a little sinister. And from then on, it became shorthand for one of the ugliest tricks in politics. But here's the twist. And if you enjoy these videos, and you haven't already done so, find the weirdest word in the dictionary and whisper it like a creepy person to the first stranger that you meet. Or, you could just like this video instead. But here's the twist. Governor Elbridge Gerry actually pronounced his last name with a hard G. It isn't Gerry. It's supposed to be Gary, meaning the word is supposed to be gerrymandering. But that detail was quickly lost. People misread it, mispronounced it, and the softer gerrymander is the version that stuck. They couldn't even get his name right. Elbridge Gerry died just 2 years later in 1814, serving as vice president under James Madison. He never got to see just how infamous his name would become. Today, few people remember that he signed the Declaration of Independence, or that he helped craft the Bill of Rights. His legacy for most people boils down to one thing, that cartoon monster and the dirty political trick that it represented. His family hated that association with his name. Poor old Mr. Gerry. Now you're wise to the words. YouTube thinks that you will like one of these videos. I agree.